The screen opens with a low-frequency rumble, like distant thunder rolling somewhere far underground, while a blurred dashcam image slowly fades into focus. An empty road stretches forward through endless forests, illuminated only by weak headlights cutting through heavy fog. No music, no movement, just a quiet hiss of wind against the microphone. White letters appear one by one: Midnight Phillies, Casi 014. The narrator's voice enters steady and restrained. Most emergency calls ask for help. This one asked for directions. A short pause. Directions. From someone who had already been missing for 3 days. The image freezes on the empty road. At 2:17 a.m., a 911 operator received a call from a man lost on County Route 6. The problem was simple. His car had already been found abandoned 40 miles away. The story shifts to introduce Michael Reeves, 28 years old, delivery driver, no criminal record, no history of mental illness. On Friday night, he told his sister he was driving home after work. It was a route he had taken hundreds of times before. 20-minute straight road. Nothing complicated, but he never arrived. The next morning, police located his vehicle parked crookedly on the shoulder of the highway. Doors unlocked. Keys still in the ignition. Wallet and phone on the seat. Engine cold. There were no signs of a crash. No struggle. No blood. Just an empty car facing the wrong direction like it had been hastily abandoned. Officers assumed he had walked off or accepted a ride. A standard missing persons case. Routine, ordinary. Until the phone call came in at exactly 17 a.m. on Monday. Emergency dispatch received a call from Michael's number. The narrator lets that sink in. His number. The same phone that had been logged into evidence 2 days earlier. The operator answered, expecting interference or a technical error. Instead, a tired male voice spoke quietly. I think I'm lost. My GPS keeps looping. The dispatcher asked for his location. He described trees on both sides. Thick fog, no streetlight. Said he'd been driving for hours, but kept passing the same broken fence again and again. His tone wasn't panicked, just confused, like someone waking from a dream. The operator asked his name. Michael, he replied. Mikhail heavies the room at dispatch went silent. Police immediately checked the evidence locker. His phone was still there, powered off inside a sealed bag. Impossible for it to be making calls. Yet the signal pinged from a cell tower near County Route 6, deep inside state forest land, where there were no paved roads. Officers tried calling the number back while keeping him on the line. The call connected. Both lines active at the same time. 2 connections. Same number. The narrator's voice lowers. 2 phones. One owner. The dispatcher kept Michael talking, asking what he could see. He described something strange. He said the road signs looked wrong. Letters scratched out, distances changing every time he passed them, as if the numbers couldn't decide how far away anything was. The audio recording plays faintly under the narration. Michael mentions seeing another car behind him with headlights off, just a dark shape following at the same speed. Every time he slowed down, it slowed. When he sped up, it matched him. He never saw the driver. Then he said something that investigators later replayed dozens of times. I don't think this is the same road anymore. The trees look taller, like they're leaning in. His breathing grows heavier. Tires crunch over gravel even though County Route 6 is fully paved. The dispatcher tells him to stop the car and turn on hazards. He replies, I did. But the lights don't reflect off anything. It's like the road's swallowing them. Static creeps into the call. Search teams were deployed immediately. Patrol cars, drones, even a helicopter scanning the forest, but there were no roads where his signal indicated. Just dense woods and uneven terrain. No tracks. No clearing. Nothing a vehicle could drive through. Yet his voice continued calmly describing turns, intersections, even passing an old gas station that no longer existed according to maps. The narrator explains that records showed a station had stood there 30 years earlier before burning down. Michael described it perfectly, down to the cracked red sign. Details he couldn't possibly know. The dispatcher asked what time his dashboard showed. He paused. It says 11:38 p.m., but it hasn't changed in a while. It was already past 30 a.m. Then the tone shifts. Michael suddenly whispers, "There are more cars now." The dispatcher hears faint engines around him, doors slamming, distant voices echoing. He says the vehicles look old. Headlights yellow and dim, models from decades ago. People standing beside them, staring at him, but not moving. "They're not blinking," he says. "They're just watching." The operator tells him to lock the doors. He responds, confused. "They're already locked. They've been locked since Friday." Silence fills the line for several seconds. Then a slow knock is heard on his window, 3 taps, perfectly spaced. Michael stops breathing. "Something's at the glass," he whispers. The final minute of the call becomes chaotic. Static rises. The dispatcher shouts his name repeatedly. Michael says the fog is getting inside the car, like smoke pouring through the vents. He coughs, struggling. In the background, dozens of car engines start simultaneously, one by one, like a parking lot waking up. He says the road ahead is gone, replaced by darkness like a tunnel. The dispatcher tells him to describe what he sees. His last clear sentence sends chills through investigators. "There's a line of people standing across the road, and they look like they've been waiting for me." A loud metallic bang hits the microphone. The call cuts instantly. Search teams traced the signal to a precise location in the forest. They found nothing except an old, rusted guardrail buried under dirt, suggesting a road may have existed decades ago. New cheery marks. No vehicle. No footprints. Michael Rees was never found. Days later, technicians examined the original audio more closely. Beneath his voice were dozens of other faint sounds. Engines, whispers, doors closing, like multiple cars arriving at once. And for half a second at the very end, another voice can be heard close to the phone saying, "Next." Not Michael's voice, someone else's. Calm, expecting. The narrator closes over a final shot of the empty highway at night. Fog slowly rolling across the asphalt. His car was found. His phone was in evidence. Yet somehow he kept driving. The camera slowly zooms down the road until everything fades into darkness. White text appears. Michael Reves, still missing. A distant engine starts somewhere off-screen. Headlights flick on briefly. Then the screen cuts to black. Silence